At first, he helped me sleep. Then he started showing up in my dreams. And then my apartment. He knew everything. My past. My fears. My thoughts. I thought therapy was supposed to heal me, not haunt me. I started seeing Dr. Elias Mercer after a panic attack nearly made me crash my car on the freeway. He came highly recommended, calm voice, Ivy League credentials, office lined with mahogany bookshelves and subtle lavender scent. The kind of therapist whose presence alone felt like a sedative. In our first session, I told him about the nightmares, the sleepless nights, and the sharp dread that came without warning. He asked thoughtful questions, never interrupted, and offered no judgment, only curiosity wrapped in concern. I felt seen. Finally. And that was my first mistake. Session by session, I opened up like pages of an old journal. I told him about my emotionally manipulative ex, my father's suicide, the silent eating disorder I kept buried under years of false smiles. He nodded and took notes, blue pen, always blue. His gaze never left mine for too long. "You're stronger than you think, Ava," he would say. And I believed him. I noticed how he remembered details, small things I barely mentioned. My favorite cafe. The scarf my mom knitted when I was 10. The name of the dog I lost as a child. It felt caring. Maybe too caring. Still, I returned every week. I needed him. Or maybe he made sure I thought I did. It started subtly. A text from an unknown number. "You sounded sad today. Try chamomile tea tonight." I thought it was a coincidence. Or a friend. Then I started receiving flowers at work. White orchids, my favorite, but I'd never told anyone that. At my next session, I thanked Elias, assuming it was a professional gesture. He smiled. "Flowers? No, not from me. But whoever it is, they know you well." I brushed it off, even as unease crawled up my spine. One night, I came home to find my door slightly open. Nothing was missing. But my journal, the one I never brought to therapy, was on my kitchen table. Open. The page was blank, except for one sentence, written in blue ink. "I'm always with you, even when you're alone." My hands trembled. I called the cops. They found no signs of forced entry. No fingerprints. No prints but mine. My landlord said the security cameras had been down for maintenance that day. I moved in with my friend Dana for a while, but I kept going to therapy. Elias was the only one who made me feel safe. I even told him about the break-in. He leaned forward, concern deep in his eyes. "Do you think someone's watching you?" His words sent chills across my arms. Like he knew. Like he wanted me to know. A week later, Dana found me in the shower, shaking, crying. There was a picture taped to the bathroom mirror. It was a candid shot, me walking down my street, headphones in, coffee in hand. The photo had been taken from across the street. There was no return address on the envelope. Just my name, scrawled in blue ink. I told Elias I wanted to stop therapy. His expression darkened. The first time I saw something shift behind his polished persona. "Ava, trauma doesn't disappear. Running will only make it louder." I insisted. He nodded, but his eyes didn't agree. "Then take a break. But you'll be back. You'll need me again." His words clung to me like a threat wrapped in a promise. That night, I blocked his number. Changed mine. Moved to a different apartment across the city. I tried to breathe again. 2 weeks later, a package arrived at my new place. No sender. Inside, my old journal. And a USB drive. I shouldn't have opened it. The video showed my therapy sessions. Recorded. All of them. His office. His voice. Me crying. The camera was hidden somewhere behind the bookshelves. I felt sick. Violated. The folder name on the USB? Ava, my favorite project. I went to the authorities. They found his office empty. Abandoned. No forwarding address. No record of a Dr. Elias Mercer in the state's licensing board. Everything, his degrees, his plaques, even his rental agreement was forged. He never existed. The news spread fast. Turns out, Elias Mercer had been someone else once. And before that, someone else again. A shapeshifter of identities. a master of disguise. He preyed on women in distress, vulnerable, hurting women who needed help. Women like me. But this wasn't the end. Not even close. I started hearing his voice again. Not in person. On voicemails. The radio. A podcast I'd never subscribed to suddenly began each episode with a sentence only he could have known. "You're stronger than you think, Ava." I smashed my phone. Changed again. Bought burner devices. I stayed inside. Avoided cameras. Wore sunglasses and hats everywhere. And yet, I'd wake up to find notes on my window pane. "You're never alone." Then Dana went missing. No note. No struggle. Just vanished from her apartment. The only thing left behind? A picture of me in Elias's old office, crying, with Dana's name scratched into the frame. I broke. Internally, I stopped eating. Stopped trusting. My mind fractured like glass under pressure. But that's when I remembered something from one of our early sessions. He once told me, "If you ever want to know someone's real name, look at what they hide." He meant it. He wanted me to find him. So I did. Using encrypted forums, therapy networks, and deep web aliases, I found a thread. Women across states sharing eerily similar experiences. All described the same man. Different names. Same smile. I traced one identity, Dr. Adrian Kessler, a grief counselor in Oregon. I flew there, booked an appointment under a fake name. When I walked into the office, he was there. Same voice. Same eyes. He didn't recognize me at first. But when I said, "I still can't sleep," he smiled. "Then let's talk about why." I recorded everything. Secretly. I played along for weeks. Pretended to be a new client. Let him talk. Let him dig. And then I handed it all to the FBI. They arrested him in the middle of our final session. He didn't resist. He looked at me with the calm of a man who thought he'd already won. In prison, he refused to speak to anyone but me. They begged me to visit. Said it might help other victims. So I went. He stared at me through the glass. "You're the only one who ever saw me," he whispered. "And I'll never forget you." A week later, he was found dead in his cell. No suicide note. No foul play. Just a drawing, carved into the wall with a paperclip. It was my face. Smiling. I moved to another country. Changed my name. Started over. But sometimes, I still see blue ink scrawled across receipts or bathroom stalls. Sometimes, I dream of therapy sessions I never had. Sometimes, I feel eyes on me in a crowd. Because obsession doesn't die. And monsters don't live under beds. They live behind kind smiles and questions like, "So, how are you feeling today?" Like this story? Headphone subscribe to Voices and Visions for more haunting thrillers. Hit the bell so you never miss the next mystery.